It looks like ICE is now cracking down on Native Americans. It looks like ICE is now cracking down on Native Americans, according to a letter that was just posted by the chairman of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe in North and South Dakota. Quote, "Our nation is a sovereign government and our members are not immigrants. We are not subject to immigration enforcement on our own lands." The letter says, "I have been receiving reports and evidence of First Nations people being radically targeted, assaulted, and detained by the federal agency Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We want to remind our members to be safe and proactive by carrying with you, at a minimum, your tribal identification cards or a copy of your degree or of Indian blood. Our tribal identification affirms our citizenship and political status." And obviously, they are a sovereign government, and their members are not immigrants. They were the original people on this continent, and they are not subject to immigration enforcement on their lands. So this is absolutely insane. It looks like ICE is now cracking down on Native...
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS that rule well and that teach well, and peace, citations to your fellow Wakim, hopeful elect, pushing this truth to the rest, to the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect, so Yahweh Shai can return and redeem us men of Yahweh Shem Shai, the elect, up on out of this wicked kingdom. Okay. I seen this TikTok a couple days ago, and this is in 2026 standards. This is old news, but it's still news, man. Because I haven't heard it in a while. No, I haven't seen any brothers do a lesson on this. So I'm like, I gotta do a lesson. First I want to say Salakia. If I'm speaking too soft, I got something. I got a cold, sore throat, something. It hurts to speak. So, but anyway, I'm trying to do a lesson anyway, because why not? At least try. This is the most important thing I can do. The most important thing we can do. So, is do the work of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, feed the sheep of the Lord, like the Lord said unto Peter. If you love me, all right. The Lord said that. He said, if you love me, feed my sheep. And who are the sheep of the Lord? All right, his elect. All right, his people, specifically the elect of his people, which will understand this truth eventually. Okay, eventually all the elect are gonna wake up. If they're not woken up already. Okay, but that's a topic for another lesson. The topic of this lesson is about ICE, is planning on going after Native Americans now, man. All of a sudden, which, hey, us men of Yahweh Shem Shai, this don't surprise us. It makes us happy. All right. Yeah, it's sad because they're innocent. All right. Because they're native. They were here first. And Donald Trump's doing the same thing to Greenland. He's like, just because Denmark, was there hundreds of years ago by ships and got there first, don't mean shit. So, hey, perfect timing, right, for Donald Trump and his demons, ICE, maybe Border Patrol too, to go after Native Americans, man. And I just wanted to make sure, because there's a lot of fake news on TikTok. So I went on Google. I just typed it in, man. And this is AI overview. All right, this is the so-called white man's, his technology, his platform, all right, his way of proving things. All right, which is AI, and even his AI says that we're correct, that this TikTok is correct, man. All right. I typed in on Google, is ICE planning on going after Native Americans? Yep, that's what I typed in. An AI overview said, yes, recent reports and tribal leaders indicate that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents are indeed detaining and questioning Native Americans despite them being U.S. citizens. All right, they're not just U.S. citizens; they're natives. All right, you know, which Trump's a U.S. citizen, man. You know, I'm not Donald Trump, but which what I mean by Trump's. You know, I'm talking about Trump as in, you know, being a native is natives is being a native to America or anywhere, you know, is better or more legit than being a citizen, because you could come from a far off land and be a citizen of the United States. You know, it's easy to go after Northern Kingdom and Somalis and Europeans, which are not even going after white Caucasian Europeans. All right, they're going after Somalis, they're going after Nigerians, Africans, they're going after all the Latino tribes, and they're actually, you know, which, hey, in this case, it don't surprise us, man. All right, this devil, the so-called white man, all right, is going after the natives now of this land, you know. And why I said, you know, it excites us, makes us happy, even though they're innocent, and it's kind of sad because they are innocent. It's because, you know, this fits prophecy, man. This devil, Revelation 12:12, which we've been and will continue on bringing that scripture out. You know, let's get it. You know, this precept is going down, man. Okay, Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. All right. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So the first, you know, that's talking about the Lord's people, man. All right. You know, because this devil's gonna come. You know, because when it talks about the heavens, you know, it's really talking about his people, man, specifically his elect. All right, because the Lord says rejoice. And who's rejoicing in these times, seeing all these horrible things, these things, these scary events, these scary things coming from the future? All right, seeing these prophecies and these, you know, who's rejoicing in these times? The Lord's elect, his prophets. Okay, so that's who this is really speaking to, or his people. Okay, specifically his elect. It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Okay, so this devil, all right, he's in his time to come down upon us Israelites. Jacob's trouble, man. Hey, we're in Jacob's trouble now, man. All right, we're not in the beginning stage. You know, we're not in it's starting or it's about to start. No, we're in it. You know, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. The past 2 years, we've been seeing events around the earth, all over the earth, all over this realm, this third dimensional realm, where we've been seeing things that we've never seen before happen on earth on a frequency that this world has never seen, which fits the prophecy that we're in Jacob's trouble, man. And who's in trouble? Who's troubled right now? Jacob, the Israelites. And who is this white man, this Edomite, going after? The Israelites, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Or he's trying to lump the blacks in by going after Africans, you know, because there's a lot of Muslim Africans, you know. He's got the Latinos, you know, just say that they're cartel, they're gang, and he wants to go after these natives, you know. But he's trying to be fast with it, man, you know. Because it's basically the same mindset as what Donald Trump said to Greenland. Oh, because Denmark was there before us don't mean shit. We need Greenland, or China or Russia, you know, our enemies are gonna grab Greenland. When nobody said they're gonna grab Greenland, man. Donald Trump is, well, not Donald Trump, but he's not tripping, but he's lying, you know. Donald Trump is just a front man. All right, he's doing what he's told to do, okay? Because he wasn't saying this 5 years ago, man. Last time he was a president. All right, he was for the people, blah, blah, blah. You know, more jobs, more of this. I stopped the most wars on earth. You know, now look, he's starting more wars, rumors of wars, and he's starting more shit, you know. This is because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Because this devil knows that the Lord is returning. He knows, he sees us prophets of Yahweh Shemi Shai on YouTube, out there on the highways and byways. He sees us. He knows. He sees the prophecies too. The devil knows the Bible too, man. All right. Specifically these elites. Okay. That's why they're trying to push the New World Order. Or the Lord is putting a spirit upon these devils, and these devils, these high elite Edomites, okay, that they practice Satanism and high level Satanism and witchcraft, and they literally answer. All right, they take orders from Satan himself, and Satan is telling them, hey, do this move, do that move, do this, start this shit, make Donald Trump do this, let's start a war here, do this and do that. Because the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is telling Satan to tell his people, his wicked people, the Edomites, to do these things, man. All right? And that's why you're seeing these things happen, man. Because Satan is just, all right, the left-hand man, the dirty work man of the Lord. He's taking orders from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, too, man. He's just doing the dirty work. All right? He's the bad guy, in the Lord's movie, and his people. Just as Israel, Yahweh Shai and Israel are his good people, his main characters, the underdogs, good, the devil and his seed, Satan the seed, the serpent seed, is the bad guys, man, okay? And this devil knows that he has a short time, okay? That's why they're pressing the button spiritually, They're starting shit fast. They're making moves fast, doing this and this and that. All right, mass producing brain chips at the same time, capturing Maduro, starting shit with these other countries, even with their own allies, and their own people, coming down upon their own people with great wrath. So they're doing what the Lord has created them to do. You can't do nothing against this truth before the truth. And this devil thinks that if he successfully establishes his new world order before the Lord returns, he's gonna be all right. I'll help you in here. So, next precept. Another precept, man, to that. Why the white man hates the Israelites, man. It says, then Jacob gave Esau bread, pottage, and lentils, and he said, "Sluck you." Then Jacob gave Esau bread, and pottage of lentils, and he said, he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. That's not what I wanted, man. Definitely not what I wanted. Hated. What the hell? I should know this precept by now. Salakia. All right. Genesis 27:41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob. All right. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. All right. And who are the Israelites? The 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, mainly, for the most part. It starts with them, okay? Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, okay? We've been blessed with the kingdom, with the spiritual, just being the chosen seed, man. Or we're a people dear unto the Lord, above all people upon the face of the earth, man, okay? We've been blessed by being the chosen, all right? Receiving the kingdom of heaven, okay? And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob, okay? And he's been on this same mindset ever since, non-stop, man. He's been after the Israelites, Jacob, all 12 tribes, and he's still doing it. The blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. He's but yeah, a few more precepts. Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Give me a second. Salakia. It says, alas, that day is great, so that none is like it. Okay? It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, and we're being troubled, all right, on all sides. All right. This devil, our arch enemy, which has been blessed with the sword, all right, is coming down upon us, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? Okay. What was I gonna say? But yeah, we're in great times, man. We're in Jacob's trouble, right? And the Israelites, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are in trouble. All right. We're being targeted by the white man, by ICE, Border Patrol. All right. And he's saying they can't tell you. All right. They don't want to tell you who they're specifically after, biblical names and whatnot. All right. They don't want to say blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. That's why they got to persecute these other countries, other lands that look like us, like Somalians. They're blackish. They have to go after the Latinos, make an excuse why they want to go after the Latinos. Make an excuse why they want to go after black people. All right. Nigerians, Nigerians. I guess there's a lot of Muslims killing Christians in Nigeria. So Donald Trump, says, wants to go after American Nigerians that, are here in America. All right. And who else looks like Nigerians? Black people. They're really the same people. Nigerians, a lot of Judite, Southern Kingdom, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, all right, stem and come from through the Atlantic slave trade, all right, and immigration and whatnot, okay, visas and whatnot come from Nigeria, West Africa, okay. And now this devil is going after the Native Americans. We're not lying with what we're saying, man. Us men of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, we have no reason to lie. Oh, you're trying to fit that, fit a narrative. What narrative, man? We're just warning you of what we see spiritually, man, what the Lord has revealed unto us. And that's it. We're not out here shooting people. We're not out here punching people, hurting people. We're not out here stealing, committing criminal activities, committing evil. We're not even sinning, man, okay? To the best of our ability, We don't carry guns. I don't carry no weapon, man, We're not stealing. We're not being criminals. We're not punching people, fighting people, all right? We're being peaceable with all men if possible, okay? So we do our best to be peaceful with every man, no matter who the man is and woman, okay? Because that's what the Lord says for us to be. But these people hate this message because it's the truth, man. Because, this world is a lie. This whole world is a lie, man. It runs off lies, okay? That's why the Lord's going to return and establish the truth and judge the whole world, and the earth is going to be melted with fire, all right? Mainly America is going to be melted with fire, nuclear fire, man. All right, the works therein shall be burnt up, like in 2 Peter 3, was it in 3 or 4, okay, or 3 and 10, even, the works therein shall be burnt up also, these lies, these establishments of lies, okay, these wicked governments, these wicked organizations, these wicked things that are going on, these wicked people, they're going to be burnt up and destroyed and done away with, and bow down or lay down, man, or get laid down. That's what's going to happen when the Lord returns. Not now, but when the Lord returns. And that's all we're saying, man. So I hope this is edifying to the elect. Shalom.